So we're trying to continue this video. We were talking about the roots, or they're called the zeros, and they're the solutions. And we still needed to record and talk about the number of solutions. So most commonly what you get are two solutions. You have a situation where the parabola scoops down and then up, and it's showing two roots. And here it can either come from, it happens the same if it's opening down. For one solution, you can see here it just bounces up. It kind of touches it, and it can come from below or above, and it just touches that x-axis one time. Or you get this situation. These two are pretty rare. Again, mostly you're going to have this thing. You're going to have two solutions most of the time. But sometimes what happens is you get this parabola. It's just kind of up here floating, and it goes that here comes the x-axis, and it never even touches it. It just passes on by, and you never catch a solution. So be aware of those three situations that can happen. Again, mostly this is what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and look at the next page and look for the parts that we've talked about on a graph. So the first thing we're going to look for is the vertex. And so I'm going to go over 3 and up 4. And we have the point 3, 4. Now notice I have parentheses because these two numbers, the 3 and the 4, are talking about one point. So the 3 and the 4 are working together to name that one point as a team. And that's what the parentheses mean. It says, go over this one and up that one, depending on if it's positive or negative. Now, since this vertex is at the very top, then we're going to call that a max. And the max value is 3, 4. But mainly you need to know that this is a maximum. And over here, this one's going to be a minimum. Now, the axis of symmetry is this line going right through the center. Let me draw that in. Usually it's dotted. And it's this point. We're going to always start with x equals. When you get to this one over here, you're going to say x equals. And this one, you're going to say x equals. And to find the number, you go to the vertex and pull down the x value. And so this one is the line x equals 3. For the roots or the zeros, find the x-axis and find those points. So this is 1 and this is 5. And usually you're going to write it just like this, right? Like this one. That's mainly how you're going to answer that. But what you can do is use these set notation, which is like wiggly parentheses. You can't use parentheses like this one, because that would mean you go over 1 and up 5. We're not doing that. We're talking about two different points. This one is just over 1, this was over 5. So they're both x values. So you can't put an x and an x in a parentheses. You only an x and a y. And so it might be written out here like set notation. Here it's written all pretty. Or the long way would be to write each of the points separately. Like here, the point 1, 0 and the point 5, 0. So this is the point 1, 0 and this is the point 5, 0. But again, usually we just write the 1 and the 5, the x values. Let me zoom back out. This is a parabola that opens down. Over here is one that opens up. So this one will be up. And the last thing to look at is how to find that y-intercept. So let me find the y-axis until I see it stop right there. It stops at -5. Just watch out here. Here's the y-axis here. It helps me to trace it. And so as you go, you just look along the y until you find the point where it's going to cross there. So good luck with these here. Watch out for this one, they count by 2s. Watch out for this one. Some of the answers are going to be decimals. You just have to estimate a little bit about how that goes. And watch out down here below. You're going to get some of these situations that we talked about. you're going to have at least one of these where there's just one answer instead of having a pair. And there's going to be something like this where you're going to go find for the zeros and you won't find any. And so you'll just write the words no solution. Or you can use that symbol. Oh, you know which one I'm talking about, some of you. The circle with the line through it, which means no solution. So good luck with that. We'll see you in class.